Let's go ahead. What do you see on the board? What? DNA. Forming again, not bad. Right, superb. Yes. Yep. What do you see on the board? Online students? Huh?
The blue color thing is moving.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the case. The perspective of people are different, depending on their level of intelligence. Right? Okay. Huh? Yes. Bacteria. Bacteria. Looks like bacteria. And not only that, and not only that, some people are thinking, okay, why on the earth there's a chicken nugget or something? Right? Someone may be thinking like that also. Right? Yeah. Okay, right. So what you see here, it is kind of a dream that the human, the mankind had few decades back, and which you witness, enjoyed in the Jurassic World final movies, the editing of genome, producing right new dinosaurs with different properties and all these things, right? So it's genetical modification, right? No, this is not about the cloning. This is not just thing. I mean, it's not even PCR. You know, PCR, polymerase chain reaction, which is used in the corona infection detection, right? In the PCR machine, they put RNA. The machine photocopies the RNA and produce enough RNA so that it can be detectable, right? If that is tested with the corona testing, with the RNA present, it will be positive. This is entirely like you insert something into your body which can go and into the cells and alter the genome and put a new genome, kind of a magical invention that we were thinking. But now, step by step, things are going to get real, right? Okay. So the science that we saw when we were small as a magic, now the science has become the truth, right? Drones and all these things, so they are just magic for us when we were small, right? And these were magic when you were small, genome editing and stuff, right? But now they are getting true, right? In 2020, right, two lovely ladies won the Nobel Prize for chemistry, Nobel Prize for chemistry, finding this CRISPR Cas9 enzyme, which act like a scissor. Don't misunderstand. This DNA is cut by a scissor, right? Scissor can cut on next. And it's not like the new DNA is not manually inserted. It's done by a complicated process of biochemicals. And this chicken nugget thing is the enzyme, CRISPR enzyme. So they want this Nobel Prize, which is a huge amount of money. Not only the huge amount of money, their names go into the history of human civilization on Nobel Prize winners under chemistry, right? What is to do with that here, right? DNA is an organic molecule. In order to modify that, you need to know your organic chemistry, right? So these two scientists, they didn't become doctors, they didn't become engineers, being science students. Instead of that, they became what? Who? Scientists, right? And who won the Nobel Prize even? Right? So who knows? Never know. You guys, some of you might go for scientific researchers. Maybe you are fascinated, and these two ladies, maybe they were fascinated in their school organic chemistry lessons. May not, right? Maybe they were fascinated in the university, right? Anyhow, they must have done really well in organic. So who knows? If somebody in this class who become really good in organic chemistry and go to research and finding, do some really good finding and go to the international level research symposiums and stuff, right? Right? Therefore, I never underestimate how much you are not good at chemistry at this moment, because we have seen the future, history, and the present in the last 20 years in my teaching. I have seen the future and the, right, how students have become scientists. That's why we are trying to cunning when you are not happy with the actions we take, we try to do it because we know the change is remarkable, right? If we can manage to do it. I think I can't do help on that, but we'll try our best, right? Okay. So these two ladies would have been done organic chemistry with a lot of interest. That's why they came to this, right? And these two handsome men, right, won the Nobel Prize for I love it, right? Nobel Prize for chemistry in 2021. For what? They found a way to make new catalyst from amino acid. We have learned amino acids, which are the precursors of what? Amino acids are the precursors of proteins. Fat are the precursors fatty acid, right? Fatty acid and glycerol, right? Precursors of proteins. That means they managed to make new catalyst starting from existing amino acid. You may be wondering, so what? Just making a catalyst from an amino acid. How do they get the Nobel Prize? That's like millions of like pounds. How do they get that? Right? That's because currently we are using what kind of catalyst? What kind of catalyst? Catalysts are made of what normally? What kind of elements? What kind of compounds? Yeah, what metals? What metals? Transition metals. Transition metal elements or compounds are acting as catalysts, right? They are not, they are limited. Make them, they are limited. Sometimes they are too toxic. It can't be administered into our body, right? Or do some, curing process in the as a catalyst because they are too toxic. So after finding organic catalyst, you can easily administrate them into the bodies also to do certain wonder reactions, right? Not only that, if it is organic, if it is made of amino acid, then you can make that amino acid, make that catalyst at very low cost at whatever the time. Unlike the transition metal catalyst. You get my point. So they found they want the Nobel Prize. Oh, you can see these enzymes amino acid we don't, right? They are acting as catalysts for certain reactions inside an enzyme. So this finding, it's a remarkable change in organic chemistry in the whole world. And they were given Nobel Prize. They became Nobel Prize winners. Right? Yeah. Yeah, catalyze some other reactions, like you can control some biochemical reactions. Right? You can't do it by administrating a metal compound into body because that metal compound can be very toxic to us. Is that clear? So, but this and development of asymmetric organocatalyst, that means organic chemistry. Right? So who knows? There can be scientists coming out of these 35 students in my class one day. Right? And so what is organic chemistry? Right? So all these guys were fascinated with this area. That's why they found, and just understand, 2020, 2021, and even in 2022, Nobel Prize were taken by scientists who work with organic compounds. Right? 2022, you try to find out who won the organic compound for what finding. Right? Just a slight information. There were three scientists who found a completely new chemistry called click chemistry. Click chemistry. Huh? Click chemistry. Right? ඔගොල්ලෝ click එක දානකොට bell ඉස්සරහට එනවනේ. නැද්ද? එමෙන් නැද්ද? අය අර මේ බෑග් එකේ ස්ට්‍රැප් එකේ තියෙනවා නේද ක්ලික් එකක් දාන්න. තියෙනවද වගේ? අර ක්ලික් ගාලා වැටෙන්නේ. right? අර බෙල්ට් එකක් අපි දානකොට වැටෙන්නේ. So these molecules, they found a method to couple two molecules whenever we want. Right? And then you can unclick also. Two molecules. Unbelievable finding means they found something called click chemistry. So you may be wondering, what the click කරන්නේ molecules නේ molecules මොනවාද click කරක වෙන වැඩ නැද්ද කියන විශ්ල කරන්නේ right? So they found in order to do detections of cancer cells, right? They found a special set of chemical reactions, some organic compounds which are not very toxic. You can send them and they are going to get clicked into certain chemicals inside this in the cell plasma. When it is clicked, they stay in the cell. So you can check through a spectroscopic method and those cells glow. Then you can detect them. Once your work is done, sending another chemical, you can unclick it so that it won't give you what? Bad side effects. You know, with the cancer treatments, what's the current problem, right? Where once you had to follow some, have to face some consequences of side effects, right? So they can reduce that also. See what people are finding in this world, right? ඒවත් දැනගෙන තමයි science ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ. Right? නිකම් බොරුවට organic chemistry, alkanes are this, alkenes are this, alcohols are this. එහෙම ඉගෙනගෙන වැඩක් නැහැ. You have to find what's the relationship to our life. All right, so what's the organic chemistry? I'm not going to take a lot of time. I'm going to do a lot of slides, unlike in the Thursday class, right? Since you guys have now been exposed to your school lessons as well. Organic chemistry here is a branch of chemistry that studies the structure, properties, and reactions of organic compounds. Okay, let's go to the tutorial quickly. You can quickly write down what organic chemistry is. Unlike students, anyway, you can write whatever you see on the board, but you don't need to write about the Nobel Prize and stuff. The workbook has all the stuff printed. All right. So then next, that's not my picture when there is no beard. But he is much more handsome than me, right? However, right? Probably a Frenchman, no? Patrice Waller, right? From this, right? Elegant clothes, you can tell, right? And why is this guy here, right? Okay, the reason is this. Now, organic chemistry is the study of organic compounds. Did you learn that in the previous slide? Then we want to understand what are organic compounds, right? As I explained to you guys in school also, let me explain this to the others. Organic compounds are compounds which are made in living cells, right? For example, you consider glucose. Right, the glucose is wonderful, very important chemical to our biochemical pathways because that is the one produces a lot of energy. Energy produced by glucose. And the glucose molecule, which has like 6 carbon atoms, right? And it's a cyclic molecule like this. It has some oxygen atoms, like all this. I'm not going to draw the whole molecule, right? It's a very complicated molecule, and each carbon atom has OH group as well, right? Something like this. This molecule you can't make in the laboratory in a test tube by mixing carbon and hydrogen and oxygen. C6, H12, O6. Just by mixing carbon and hydrogen and oxygen, you can't make glucose. Right? Then scientists thought, my goodness, right? Why can't we make glucose? Only the plants can make it. Why can't we make lactic acid in the test tube, but only in the muscles it can be made? Why all these organic compounds are made in living cells? And they thought it is through an agency of a vital force, some divine force is helping to produce these organic compounds in living cells. But not bad. That was a good definition. That's the whole definition. Organic compounds are not easily made. All right. Okay, but until it was believed, right? I mean, until this person, Friedrich Wahlen, he managed to produce some organic compounds inside the test tube, like oxalic acid. Oxalic acid is a compound like this. Don't worry, nothing to by heart here. Just a story. You are learning. You are just like hearing a story, listening to a story. Right? You made this oxalic acid, and also he made some other organic compounds as well as urea, right? The normal urea identify them. Huh? Right? Right? ඊට පස්සේ තමයි හැමතිස්සෙම washroom එකට ගන්නේ. right? එහෙනම් මේ අපේ කට්ටිය washroom යන frequency එක හැටියට නම් ඒතර මොකක් හරි ලඩක් තියෙනවා. හරිද? Okay. So Friedrich Wahler synthesized oxalic acid and urea. Right? So outside the kidney. That's a big achievement, and from then onwards, the whole definition is not taken. Anyway, you know the word organic is related to our life, right? It's always like natural stuff. Organic food, organic drink, beverages, organic cosmetics, organic that and this and all this, right? They meant natural, they are natural, right? Not synthetically made. But that's all right, it's going to be all definitions. Okay. After that, Friedrich Wahler found these organic compounds, right? So then what are really organic compounds, right? What are organic compounds? You know, tell me what are organic compounds. Very good.
Detergent.
Right. Yeah.
Starch.
I'm asking a definition. Methane, yeah. Mama honey, organic compounds කියන්නේ මොනවද? Definition. That's the whole definition.
The carbon.
You get my point. Now it's a whole definition because Friedrich Wahler managed to make organic compounds inside the test tube. All right, so let me give you a definition. It happened in the last class also, but I All right, let's see. All right, so here is the new definition. Organic compounds are the compounds containing one or more carbon atoms which are covalently bonded to the other atoms of other elements. So this is now the new definition. It may be produced in a living cell or not, right? But we did this activity in the classes. So carbon dioxide is also having carbon. Do you understand? But is it organic or not? Why not? There, glucose organic when bad. It contains oxygen. Why carbon dioxide is not organic?
Hydrogen is there.
Hydrogen doesn't have to be there. Yep, yeah.
So it can be like created in other reactors.
That's also a good point. It's not natural, but now the natural definition is not considered. The new definition is this now. Why do you have this definition over here? This has another part. What is that? There are some excluding compounds, right? So this definition excludes oxides of carbon, right? This definition excludes what else? Carbonic acids and its ions. What are the carbonic? What is carbonic acid? Of course,
HCO.
no, H2CO3. Carbonic acid is H2CO3, and ions will be
CO3.
carbonate ion and or hydrogen carbonate ions. Excluded as organic. Right? Then carbonate minerals, calcium carbonate, sodium carbonate. What else? Hydrogen cyanide and cyanide are excluded in this definition. Nothing personal, organic you must have the definition. You must have an idea to say what are organic compounds, carbon containing compounds, but not these. Right? The school right, let's see. So carbon dioxide, is it organic or not? Is it organic or not, Shakir?
No, sir.
I didn't hear you. Can you please tell me
No,
again?
sir. It's not organic, sir.
It's not organic, is that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. Yes, it's not organic. What about methane? Organic, very good. Glucose. Organic. Let's see. Sodium carbonate, secondly. Then my definition is unknown. Not organic. Are you sure? Shall I click it? Yes, right, it's not organic. CCl4, Jaruka. Organic. Yes, it's organic. Mauli, C2H5OH. Are you sure? Shall I go for the answer? Yes. It's organic. German, last one, H2CO3. Organic or not?
So can you repeat the question, please?
Is H2CO3 organic or not?
So it's organic.
It is organic.
Yes.
From that, I can figure out whether you are paying attention to the class or not.
No, sir, it's not
You are
organic.
paying attention. All right, all right. Don't you have the excluding ones the same formula?
Yes, sir.
So is it organic?
No, sir.
Not organic. Okay. වැඩ කරාම මම වෙනවට ලියාගන්න. Right. So let's go. Online students, you are still writing through. Are you? All right, no. Okay, let's go to the next one. So then where do we find organic compounds? I mean, this introduction part is extremely important. As some of you guys know, I'm not worried about the content in media. I'm worried about you are learning this science very carefully from the beginning, right? So where do you find organic compounds? The answer is there, isn't it? We can find it everywhere around us. So for example, right, the concrete, the metal, air we breathe, water we drink, except for those four, almost all the other stuff that we see, we use, and the glass as well, except for those five, most of the stuff that we use are completely what coming under organic category. Your body completely, except for the minerals and bones and stuff, right? All the other stuff are organic. Carbohydrate, proteins, lipids, DNA, RNA, hormones, right? Vitamins, they all are what? Organic molecules, carbon containing molecules. Is that clear? Right? Covalently bonded to other atoms. All right, gentlemen? Okay. And so from the pictures, you can figure out, right? So you have like big burger there. You have under the somewhere, right? So the layers of these ham and cheese and lettuce and bread and everything, they all are organic. You have a coffee over there. I use the coffee. Right. You can say it's an apple juice or papaya juice or wood apple juice, whatever juice you like, you can, right? Except for water, right? The rest of the substances inside are what? Okay. So then some weird organic molecules are they are given phenolic compounds, ascorbic acid. You know ascorbic acid, don't you? What can you know? Ascorbic acid, vitamin C, right? And antioxidants and all these stuff, sugar, right? Starch, all organic, right? And then you have another picture like some drugs there, pills there, right? And they are made of organic compounds, are important, right? I know you guys at least once, or may not, as if you are not, then you are lucky. You have been exposed to these malpractices of chemicals. ඔකට එක එක flavors දාලා, right? මිනිස්සු කියනවා මචං මේක try කරන්න මේවා මාරු මන් නරකයි මේකයි කියලා. But you are just consuming some organic compounds which can directly connect your neurons, brain neurons, your liver, because liver is the one crying when you do all the bad stuff with these substances. Because the liver, your liver has to detoxify it. ඔයාට තේරෙන්නේ වගේ internal body එක ඔයාට තේරෙන්නේ ඔයාට කියන්න පුළුවන්ද? I'm just talking about these substances. Right? ඔයාට කියන්න පුළුවන්ද වගේ stomach එකට can you order your stomach stop digesting? පොඩක් හිතව digest කරන්න. Can you order it? Yeah? Or you can say now digest. I want this food to be digested immediately so that I can eat more. Right? But some people are anyway without ordering, it's like that automatically happening, right? We can see the way that they are eating, right? It's like quickly digested. However, ඔයාට පුළුවන් දෙයක් කියන්න. ඔයාගේ බ්ලඩ් එකකට ඔයාට කියන්න පුළුවන්ද මේ දැන් නම් පුරව ගන්න එපා පුළුවන්ද? බෑ යා පිරනලා යා පිරනවා. Right? ඔයාගේ කිඩ්නි එකට කියන්න පුළුවන්ද පොට්ටක් දැන් පිට කරන්න තියෙනවා. Can you tell it? You can't. So internal body, since you are unconscious about things happen inside the body, you still play food with it. Right? You put substances, just your brain or your nose or your tongue. The communication system is satisfied. Our communication system become a happy terminal. Chemicals දාන chemicals ටික කොහොමද දැන් liver එකට යන්නේ. liver එකෙන් මොකද කරන්නේ? එයා ඒක detoxify කරනවා. If you put toxic substances, liver starts working, is overloaded, then you end up with what? Cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is not only from alcohols. It can happen from other chemicals as well. Taking that, finally advising you at this point, right? Put that the Pandol inhale karana, right? Extremely wrong practice. Why? It is coming under. Sometimes you have the Pandol formula here. It's a formula like this, right? It has a lot of carbon atoms, and it can directly react with enzymes and stuff in your cells, right? In the blood circulation එක වැඩි කරනවා body එක. මොනවාද? Just to give some fascinating feeling. ඒක ඔයාට ආවට ඒක blood circulation එක pass කරලා ඔයාව relax කරලා blood dilate කරලා blood ටංගය ඇදලා ගන්නවා මොනවාද? liver එකට ඇදලා ගන්නවා. Right? The body put the full defense system, send your blood into the liver so that the liver can detoxify it and put it out of your body. Right? Okay. So, but you think of Mara sensation, it's complete lie. Right? Okay. So anyhow, just gave you science karma diyana. Science karma mole product kitala jeevithe decisions. Right? Okay.
So even like good medicines conduct, like they are drugs, right? So
Yes.
won't it affect
Definitely, they affect. That's why you have people called doctors. That doctors like they can cover. ඒගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා මේ chemical එක body එකට මෙච්චර dose එකකින් දුන්නොත් good effect the bad effect. මේ dose එකෙන් දුන්නොත් good effect the bad. They are professionals on that. They have been trained for that. So they will assign මේ drug එක මෙච්චර dosage එකක් ගන්න ඔයාගේ ලෙඩේ හොද කරගන්න. එක වැඩි වුණොත් body එකට it's too much. අඩු වුණොත් effective නෑ. So that's why you have to always refer to a doctor if you are going to take something into your body.
alcohol take shot එකක් ගත්තම how does it load also?
නෑ for your questions. For the questions එයා කියන්නේ alcohols එක shot එකක් ගත්තොත් overdose වෙනවද නැද්ද? Right? We will be learning another complete lesson on alcohols. මම එතකොට ඔයාලට explain කරන්නම් ඒ ගැන. Right? Okay? ඒ question එක reserve කරලා තියාගන්න. මම definitely කියලා දෙනවා. හරි. Anyway, so when you look at the picture, so many of these stuff are made of organic compounds. Even you don't believe this syringe is made of organic. Plastic and rubber, organic. Glass එක විතරයි organic නැත්තේ. Right? If this small strip, if it is not metal, then it's organic. Right? So the foams, rubber, pen, your phone covers, phone, some circuit items, right? Your mask, right? Your clothes, your spectacle frame, right? And pen, whatnot, all are organic. Sellotape, yes, right? Organic. This mouse and its parts, except for the metals, they are organic. Right? The best part, what about the screen?
The glass.
It's not, I mean, not the Gorilla Glass. The one behind. ඔගොල්ලෝ ගන්නකොට ගන්නේ කොහමද මේ මොන ස්ක්‍රීන් එක බලනවද ගන්නෙ? Huh? No, I didn't get. All right, okay. So I didn't hear it from. Right? OLED. You get the OLED glass or AMOLED screen or OLED. What do you mean by OLED? Organic, light, emitting diodes. Diodes are made of organic. That was a Nobel Prize given in 2019 or 18 for blue diode, blue LED to produce. Taken by the OLED device. Right? It's made of organic. Right? All right. So good stuff. So you can write down quickly. Where do you find organic compounds? Yeah. It's a very organized tutorial. I have included the extra notes type. The rest you have to write and see. All right. Okay, so let's go to the next
Excuse me, sir.
slide.
Excuse me, sir.
Now, this is the amazing fact about organic compounds. You know, around us, there are so many organic compounds, right? So scientists have estimated the number of organic compounds that we find around our everyday life activities are like 19 million. Organic compounds, 19 millions. Whereas, look at that periodic table. In that periodic table, carbon is over there in the group number 4, right? It is alone, I mean, it's bonded with other animals as well, for 19 million organic compounds. But all the rest of elements, there's 114 elements, without carbon, are forming only just 500,000 of inorganic compounds. Then there has to be something weird about carbon, isn't it? Because we carbon mixture compounds are there. But there is a good news as well as a bad news. What is that? What's the good news? The good news is carbon forming such a useful one. Elements, right? And the bad news is, no. When carbon forms such a large number of organic compounds, how can we live here? The student life is going to be difficult. But there is another good news. Luckily, that is done only by carbon. What if other animals also do that? එහෙනම් අපේ textbooks කොහොමද තියෙයිද? අඩිත දියෝතේ organic chemistry, silicon chemistry, nitrogen chemistry, oxygen chemistry. Luckily, carbon only does that. අනිත් අය කරා නම් එහෙම මාර ප්‍රශ්නයක්. Right? So anyhow, we have to find out why carbon only does this. This means carbon atom has an extraordinary ability to form different types of compounds. That's why there is a vast area called organic chemistry there in chemistry textbooks. Is that clear? This diagram is already there. There's nothing to write, to study. Okay, with the game. You're getting this? Right, super. Okay, so let's move on. Then, one minute. Now we are going to check why carbon forms such a large number of organic compounds. We did it in the class. Can you remember? And I'm going to do it from the scratch in this as well. What's the first reason carbon is so special in making such a large number of organic compounds? What's the first reason? You can see. What is it? The valency of carbon is 4. This number 4 plays the most important role of this lesson. Is that clear? If you know how to count to 4, you ask the same thing in the classes. You know how to count to 4 mindfully? Oh, yes, you don't insult me, right? That's what we are thinking. We all know, right? We did that in our Montessori, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. But you don't believe at this point, number 4 is the most important number of the day. Enjoy. Don't visualize me like this. So the number of the day is what? Number 4. Don't forget this. You won't understand until you do the exercise, right? Right? I showed this, I made this presentation for 2020 on batch first time, right? I wanted to make online learning more effective, right? And when you talking of online, they don't listen, right? They just like, basically they sleep, right? And I explain this and suddenly put this. Come back it again, one guy just said, so I literally fell out of my chair. Fell out of my chair and say, why on the earth, sir, you showing Sesame Street? In the class, it's a mistake. So after Ugan to Sesame Street, sorry, screen chair again. Fell out of the, right? It was, anyway, so you must be able to count to 4 very carefully. We'll be doing exercises hereafter, right? So then, carbon, just having the valency 4, it can form, right? It can form 4 single bonds like that. It can form a double bond and 2 single bonds like that. It can form a triple bond and a single bond. Even it can form 2 double bonds, right? It can form 2 double bonds. So that gives carbon a huge ability to form different compounds. No, A level. Right, sorry, right? It's difficult to explain why it can't form like 4 times 1. Yeah. The valency of carbon is pure. That's the first and foremost important.
But about the other elements,
That's a good question. Right? That's a very good question.
Because they are bigger.
Yeah, the elements below carbon, the atoms are bigger. They have what? More electron shells. Therefore, those atoms are too big to hold a lot of bonds. Don't ask why when the atoms are big, it's difficult to hold the bonds.
but usually the bigger they are, the stronger they should be.
No, the other way around. Smaller the atom, the bonds are stronger. A levels. Right. So did you know that the 4 possible arrangements? Please save your space. You need a lot of space for this part. Abhishek, what do you have? You need a lot of space in this page. You have to save your space, right? Somewhere around 4. You're not a structures thing or thing. Practice something or stream. That much of space, but anyway, right. All right, so let's go to the Sesame Street. No. Okay. Next one. Why does carbon form large variety of organic compound? The second reason is, right, it can form unbranched and branched chains of atoms with variable number of atoms. This is really important one. It's like this. Carbon, this property is not there with most of the other elements and atoms. Carbon to පුළුවන් මේක chains හදන්න. Okay? And let's see how do you work with the organic compounds. You make the organic compound like this by putting the carbon skeleton. Then අපි දාමු hydrogen. When you're putting the hydrogen, what is the important thing? Count to 4. Sorry, then count කරන්න බලන්න සෙතුම්නි මේක. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count කරන්න? I didn't hear. Okay, count second carbon atom. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many hydrogens that you needed? 2, because you already had 2 bonds. Next one, Setumni. 1, 2, 3, 4. Metuki, next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is called unbranched molecules, right? There can be molecules like this. You have this and carbon is, there can be carbon atom on top or bottom on the middle carbon atom. Right? Count Karan Bhatt. Chaitya was doing it well in the class. Yes? 1, 2, 3, 4. Copy කරන්න බෑ අතරම තනියම හොදලා කරලා තියෙනවා. විරුන් 1, 2, 3, 4. Here 1, 2, 3, 4. Here 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So most of the time students make mistakes in this, right? Anyway, you will have a exercise as well, right? So you can draw this and write them down. There's a reason, but they won't ask this in the exam. No, the first one is enough. Carbon can form chains of structures. Branch on branch. Done?
Should be loaded.
On it. එපා පොඩියට තව තියෙනවා. People to play. This one, plus it. What's the person? Okay, let's move on. Right, here is an activity for you guys to do. Quickly do this. What you have to do? I have done like some molecules half, some molecules.
So that.
Yeah. You have to complete this. molecules by putting hydrogen
This
atoms.
one you just gave us. The first one you just.
Yeah, I gave it. Yes, we can close the other ones. Done? I had a पूरी दिन हो गई molecules check कर लो। ये करना नहीं है।
So in the internet, one thing.
Huh?
8.
Carbon atoms. 8, maybe thousands themes. That's the nature of like carbon. That's why carbon can form such large number. මෙන්න මෙයාගේ පහක් තියෙනවා කවුන්ට් කරන්න බෑ හතරට. Mistakes only now in there. They are asking for that video again. Sound good. The number of the day. The number of the day is 4. Now let's stop 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So check your answers. computer link දන්න කම්පියුටර් එකකින් කම්පියුටර් නොලෙජ් එකකින් කියන්නකො කොහොමද ඔක හදලා දෙන්නේ?
remote කරලා
Screen record.
Huh?
Screen record.
So you can screen record at that particular regular intervals. මේ වරද්දන්න කොහොමදින්න පුළුවන්?
ඒකයි සර් බැරි. සර් මනෝජ්
Sir,
අපු ටැලන්ට් එකක් සර් මවුස් එකේ අඳින්න පුළුවන් ටැලන්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා සර්. ඔව් සර් අපිට පදින්න
You were correct. This was done in paint.
ඒකද සර් මම
මේ paint එකේ කරේ.
සර් හැමදාම ඉගෙන පේන්ට් එක
paint එකේ කරේ. This one I have. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4, it doesn't have hydrogen. Here, 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. මේ සමහර අයට මේ කාබන්ට හයිඩ්‍රජන් දාන්න අමතක වෙනවා බලන්න. At least one person in the class is there. ඒකට හයිඩ්‍රජන් හයි කරලා නැහැ. This one has one hydrogen. This. හරිද? ඔක්කොම හරිද?
සර් ආවල් කරලා යන්න. මොකද ඒකට මික්ස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
මොකක්ද?
සාමාන්‍ය
මොකක්ද නේද?
සර්
ආවල්
බ්ලඩ් එකත් එක්ක තමයි කිසිම දෙයක් මික්ස් වෙනවා.
Sir, can I push my? Sir, what does it?
හරි ඕකේ. මේක ඇවිල්ලා නෑ. එහෙම කියන්න එපා. 1 මේ ફોકસ කරන්න මෙතනට.
කොමස් කරා
Focus. Right? You guys are okay? Online students, are you guys okay with that? Yeah? Any question?
Kind of like where you put the hydrogen.
It doesn't matter. Online students, please give your feedback whether you're okay with the activities. Hurry up, hurry up. Chat. Hurry. Then not only carbon can form chains, it can form what? It can form. Right, guys. So carbon can form ring-like structures as well. Right? So what's the name of this? Cyclobutane. Cyclopentane. See how the carbon and hydrogen atoms are there. Right? So I included some complicated biomolecule where you have cycles, a lot of cycles. Can you guess what's this complicated biomolecule? H2O? Glucose. All right, at least a good guess. Glucose doesn't have this many of rings here. Starch, very close. I mean, not very close actually.
Protein.
Right?
Carbohydrate.
No.
Amino acid. No.
No.
Hydrogen peroxide.
Close.
Hydrogen peroxide.
Close.
There is it a home.
Close.
Oh.
Close.
Oxytocin.
No. Don't send in testosterone, okay? Right. That's one discussion. Okay, huh?
Estrogen.
No,
Progesterone.
no.
It's a very.
If we have antibiotic, not good. Close.
H2O.
You see this is H2O. Are you blind?
That's H3, 4, no, H.
Related to heart.
Oxygen, no.
Sugar. Cholesterol.
Yo.
This is cholesterol.
So that's the
And
first
basically,
one.
yeah, carbon can
Sir,
form ring like.
Sir, those are points of the.
They are carbon atoms. They are carbon atoms.
So that's the cholesterol.
There, that's the cholesterol molecule. This is the one goes and like get deposited in the arteries. Okay. Drugs. Only the first three. Don't draw the cholesterol.
But there are too many agents which are not, then there are scientific.
In the A level, there is a type of structural formula that we don't draw hydrogen at all.
Is it the
Even we don't draw carbon at all.
triangle?
Yeah. Why can't we do it now? ඒක මේ මොකටද මේ නිකන් තියෙන එක තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. It will be too complicated. Molecule again.
Too much hydrogen. Then carbon.
Yes, you have more hydrogens usually than carbon.
So what's that is?
No, only first three.
So that is cyclohexane.
Cyclohexane. So you see, like, they are not only forming chains, they are making what? Rings as well.
So everything like in a perfect ring again, cyclo in front.
Yes. Right, it's going well, it's going well. Let's go to the. Time goes very fast. Right? Thanks to the Sesame Street. Not. Everybody got very well.
So I've never seen that.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
Sesame Street, one. It's just funny.
I was Mr. Bacon.
Okay, so here we go to the next part. Now, my next, why does carbon form large variety of organic compounds? This is the last one. It can bond to other atoms as well. So this is, you need to do it very carefully. Have a look at this. Oxygen, you will misunderstand this equal sign. Oxygen's valence is 2. Therefore, it also has some number of day. number of the day, right? Oxygen's number of the day is 2, right? It will either form a double bond or put 2 single bonds, right? Nitrogen, its valency is 3. Therefore, it will either form 3 single bonds. There are other ways. Tell me.
One double bond and
Single bond
and a triple bond.
and a triple bond. Chlorine has only 1. Valency is 1. Mauli having the right? Valency is 1. Group is 7. Valency is 1. Therefore, you can see how oxygen here it bonds to one hydrogen, the other side single bond. But this oxygen to carbon, double bond. Anyhow, the valency has to be satisfied. You get it? Nitrogen here, 3 bonds. So write that down as well. That's the last one, don't worry. And there's a small activity which you can do it in the bottom part of the next page. You have some space over there.
Again.
The major of together. And put the side note also. The valency and bond patterns of some elements. So let me remind you, we are doing the introduction to organic today, right? We are learning about how this amount of organic substances appear in this world, right? Done, right? So as the activity number 3, we'll go for this. Just to make sure certain areas clear. I put a double bond over there. Can you quickly complete the molecules here? Oxygen be careful. Oxygen bonds දෙකයි හදන්නේ. තව H එකක් දාන්න එපා. මේ කාබන්ට bonds වල ගණන් කරන්න බෑනේ. මේ මොකද්ද මේ කරන්නේ? hydrogen bonds කීයද හදන්න පුළුවන්?
Sir,
ඇයි hydrogen එක bond එකයි හදන්න පුළුවන්. අනිත් අයට මොන්ටිසෝරි යන්න කලින් තමන්ම කියාගන්න. Right. Yeah, you need to put hydrogens also sharp. Base introduction එක ආවම ළමයි අර විදිහට ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ skill එක strong වෙනවා. Mistakes වෙනවා අඩුයි. හැබැයි ඉතින් මේක හරියට කරගන්න. තේරෙන්නේ නැත්නම් අහන්න ලැජ්ජ වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Right? Count to 4 for carbon. Carbon to 4 count කරන්න. Count කරලා මදි ඒවට hydrogen දාන්න. වැරදෙන් හරි කරලා බලන්න. Chlorine මොකක්ද group එක? ඔක් කරන්න. වැඩි කරන්න. 7. ඒකට balance එක කියනවා. Carbon hydrogen දාන්න. දැන් ගණන් කරන්න මොකද කරන්නේ?
There should be valence is one. Part one.
The number of the day. අන්න දැම්ම පහ. හරි පෙන්නනවා හරි.
චේතනද බලන්න ඕනේ.
One, two, three, four, five. මේ ඔක්සිජන් එකයි නේ. මේ උඩයි යන්නේ හයිඩ්‍රජන් එකයි. 1 2 3 4. ඔක්සිජන් කීයද? දෙකයි. හරි. අනුබරද දැක්කේ. ඒක තේරෙන්න ඕනේ. තමනු තීරු කරන්න තමනු තීරු අන්න තුන් වෙනවා. All right. Okay. Then the question is this: if you have that number of carbon atoms, I will understand. Right. How do we learn this large number of organic compounds? Right?
Thinking equals the
Right. So we are going to classify them. මොනා කරන්නද මේ කාලේ Alright. So we are going to classify them according to what? Functional group. Right? So what's functional group? Functional group is any atom or any group or any bond that is there in an organic compound apart from this carbon-carbon single bond, carbon-carbon hydrogen, carbon-hydrogen single bond. Apart from this, if there anything that's going to be a functional group, because those are going to contain. Does it? And never be that. Right. Carbon-carbon single bond, carbon-hydrogen single bond, right? Anything apart from that is all functional group. The best example I take, this is ethanol. This is what people drink. This is the ethanol molecule. This is what people drink. Right? This is a liquid. Right? This is a liquid. And this is ethane molecule. This is ethane molecule. This is ethane molecule. This ethane is a gas. Ethanol is a liquid. What's the only difference? This has OH. Okay, oxygen has a OH. This has a group which is except for carbon and carbon hydrogen. So that brings the functional group properties for this. කොච්චර වෙනස්ද බලන්න මේක gas එක. මේක බිව්ව පිස්සු හැදෙන liquid එකයි. So the functional group is like an atom or a group of atoms or even multiple bond which gives on some special physical and chemical properties for the compounds or functional group. The whole thing? Yeah, an atom. Definition of function. Shark is asking, so do we only write the hydrogen when writing for the bonds? We only write hydrogen when, yeah, we usually we put hydrogen to fill the organic molecule. Organic molecules usually have always hydrogen. Apart from few molecules, you have like halogens. It's not hallucination. It's not a chain. No.
Hallucination is like.
Yeah, hallucination, right? It's LU.
Yeah,
Yes.
double N.
Yeah, so it's LU, but halogens, it's a LO. Okay, so by now, what happens? Like, you're not familiar with putting this carbon, hydrogen, less mistakes, right? So you have a good like insight of this lesson now. So now we move into categorizing these molecules. Is that clear? So most of the stuff, don't worry, I have printed. You have to write only little. Here, the first family of organic compounds. Have a look at this. Right, we have petrol, diesel, super diesel, all right. And we have gas, which is butane and propane, lubricant oil, right? These are not eggs, huh? These are naphthalene balls. Kapuru ball, right? Made of what? Some alkanes. And these alkanes, we call them alkanes. What do you call them? Alkanes. Alkanes are the simplest organic compounds that we can find. They don't have any what? Functional group. No special functional group. Right? So alkane is the name of the family of organic compounds. And their names ends with ane. What is it? Ane. Right? That's why these are called methane, ethane, propane, alkanes end with A. If the systematical name is A, that's an alkane. That's the story of this. Therefore, next day when you are passing by fuel station, you read it as octane. Now the picture it comes to your brain is very different. No longer just fuel, it's an what? Alkane. Plus, if you know oct means 8, if you know oct means 8, that means it is an alkane with how many carbon atoms?
8
8. In the mind, you can draw it even.
18
18 hydrogen atoms. What again from the activity of right? So here we have octane. And අදින් පස්සේ තමයි fuel station එකෙන් තාම යනකොට octane දැක්කම organic class එක මතක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. මතක් වෙන්න නැත්නම් වැඩක් නැහැ. When you relate, you remember. Right? You relate, you remember. I know that there are like you guys are not using, but A-level students are currently now they are researching on how to study. Because those guys know now the syllabus that they learn huge. So they have to keep a lot of information in the head. It's a big ask. ඕගලන්ගේ syllabus එක ලොකුයි. You know there are nice methods of like study. එක ළමෙක් මට කිව්වා I'm using a special method of study. එයා කරලා තියෙන ඉස්කෝලේ දැන් ඇවිදගෙන යනවානේ. ඒ ඇවිදගෙන යනකොට යාට ඉස්කෝලේ හම්බ වෙනවානේ ස්පෙෂල් දැන් අපි දුමු ෆොන්ඩ් එක හම්බ වෙනවා කියලා. Right? ඊට පස්සේ basketball court එක. ඊපස්සේ staircase එක. ඒ හැම milestone එකකටම එයා lesson එකක් relate කරලා තියෙනවා. පොඩි plan එකක් හදලා. So then ෆොන්ඩ් එක ගාවට යනකොට එයාගේ plan එකේ තියෙනවා මේ අපි හිතමු alkanes. Right? Basketball court එක ගාවට යනකොට alkanes. Okay. එයා mind map එකක් හදලා තියෙනවා. ඒකට පාඩම් කරන්න උනා ඒ පාත් එක යට යනකොට අතෙන් යනකොට මතක් වෙන මොනවද? Alkanes. I'm not asking you to do the same thing. Some of you feel like oh, my business is stupid, right? Crazy fellow, right? That's how you think. Rather giving excuses for not memorizing it, trying is really worth it. මොනාරිකල් try කරලා knowledge එක retain කරගෙන improve වුණොත් ඔයාටම තේරෙයි වාගේ life එක කොච්චර ලස්සනද කියලා. Those who are not doing well now. Right? So organic chemistry is a good turning point. තේරෙනවනේ lesson එක තේරෙන්න අදින්න පුළුවන් molecules. ඒ ගාන්න තමයි lesson එක deliver කරලා තියෙන්නේ. මහන්සිලා පාඩම් කරලා you feel more confident in this and you can do well. Is that clear? All right, so quickly draw the methane, ethane, and propane molecules. That's only you have to draw, and then write down the stuff that I haven't put on the slide. Right? Slide Right, so let's move on. Second homologous series of the family of organic compounds are called alkenes. නාරයාගේ නම මොකද්ද?
alkene.
එයා ඉවරුනේ ane. දැන් මෙයා ඉවර වෙන්නේ ene. Right? So when there is a double bond, we call it ene. Ethene, propene, butene. Right? Functional group is carbon-carbon, double bond. Right? Like thinner. This is rubber latex. This is the rubber-free latex. This contains some good alkenes which undergo polymerization to produce rubber. Right? Okay, quickly write down. Alkenes.
So there's no molecule called methane
No, why not?
because
That's
that's
a good question. In order to have a double bond, how many carbon atoms should be there?
two at least.
Two carbon, at least දෙකක්වත් තියෙන්න බෑ. Double bond එකක් එන්න නම් carbon දෙකක් තියෙන්න බෑ. So then there is something called methane.
Double bond-
Can somebody answer this?
double bonds between two carbon atoms.
So even that has two carbon atoms.
But there are no double bonds.
Double bond.
Double bond.
මේ bond එක මේ 1 2 double මේ මෙතන තියෙනවා මොකද්ද? Double bond 1 2 4 electrons are shared. Alkenes. කමක් නෑ at least ඔය අනුමත වට තේරිච්ච දේ තියෙන. That's really important. Right? So the next, I have put a message into your chat. Since we started like 15 minutes late, I'll be doing the class until 8:50. Parents are the level, okay? Right? Because I want to finish the tutorial, what I plan to finish. Next one, alcohols. Now you were thinking when you hear something called alcohol, it's just a drinking alcohol. Right? No, the alcohol word, right? Alcohol word, you must understand very carefully now. Alcohol is not just one compound. Alcohol word is for a class of lot of organic compounds. Is that clear? Their name ends with what? All. Out of the alcohols we know, here we have one carbon, and then the alcohols have the functional group of OH. OH. That's the alcohol functional group. We call it hydroxyl group as well. We give another name, hydroxyl group. Right? We call it hydroxyl group. And look at this, methanol. Ethanol. Ethanol is the drinking alcohol. Right? All alcohols are toxic to the body. The least toxic one is ethanol. Right? So therefore it won't kill you straight away, but it will kill you surely, slowly. Right? Okay. So if you drink it, how's the alcohol question again? Because morning
Probably take one to the alcohol.
Yeah, that's a good question. Even that big mistake done by the doctors in one decade, right? They recommended, I will explain this to you in detail later on, right? They recommended a shot of wine or shot of alcohol per day to reduce the heart diseases, right? heart disease reduce කරන්න ගන්න කියලා recommend කරලා තියෙනවා ඒක age එකට. That will dilate the blood so that the blood circulation is good. හැබැයි alcohol වල තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි alcohol is giving a nerve system stimulation එකක් දෙනවා. Since it gives a nerve system stimulation, you won't be happy next day with the shot. If you want to get more happy, I mean, same happiness, you need to increase the what? Dose. ඒ වගේ body එකකට හුරු වෙනවා. ඊළඟ දවසේ තවත් වැඩි වෙනවා. That's what you call addiction. ඒකිට addiction එකේ නතර කරන්න බෑ. Right? For some people, their metabolism is fast. So those who have strong metabolism, fast metabolism, taking alcohol doesn't give a big impact on the health. Especially the cold countries, they need something like alcohol so that they can metabolize and produce a lot of heat in the body so that the heat can be, produced and they can live comfortable. They can have a beer jug pit in the body and you say, they are all more cold. Right? They can't understand the argument on that. Right? So those countries, they are like slightly evolved. The metabolism rate is high.
So when I was abroad, I saw a person drinking beer from bird jug before.
Oh, you go in Italy?
No.
Russia, it's a whole country.
So this much I think.
Yeah, ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ නැහැ. ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ metabolism එක හැදිලා තියෙන liver එකේ. Right? But anyway, if it is overdose, cirrhosis.
So how do we know person's metabolism is high?
ඒක නම් අපිට කියන්න තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. Right? It depends on the environment and genetics and stuff. Right? Metabolism වැඩි නම් බොන්න දැන්. Right? Next. That's the biological side, but there's a social side also, right? Social interaction, family matters, all these things are there.
So you were like a doctor once told that taking a shot per day was good for metabolism. Keep you there.
නෑ ඒකට ඒක ප්‍රශ්නයක් වුණා ඊට පස්සේ මිනිස්සු එක කරන්ට ගත්තාට පස්සේ ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇඩික්ට් වුණා. ඒතර ඇඩික්ට් වුණාට පස්සේ ඒක අන්තිමේදී that became the reason for the heart attacks. No, it was not one person. It was like, it's all about the balance and the control in life.
It's good to like drink wine. So it's good, right? I mean, it's fresh fruit.
I'm not going to say whether it's good or bad.
So
As
it's
a
not bad.
teacher, I have shown you the consequences and the benefits and stuff. It's up to you to decide.
So that's bad either. Right?
I'm not going to answer you. ඕගොල්ලෝ තීරණය කරගන්න. But anyway, below 17, anyway, any country, it's prohibited.
Right.
But normally, alcoholic drinks come the bag.
Illa hard to go.
So write the names properly. It's methanol, ethanol, propanol. But the world trend is now, rather than ethanol being drunk, ethanol used as a fuel in the vehicles. Petrol and water gane gasohol there. Gasohol. Gasohol means gasoline plus alcohol. ලංකාවේ ගියොත් මගුවට තියෙන්නේ. වාහන නතර කරලා වාහනේට දාන්න ගියයි 1550 ඉතුරු 50 දාන්න ගියයි බෝතලෙට. මෙන්න මේ වීදුරුට දාන්න ගියයි.
Ethanol burns cleaner also, that like makes more energy and energy carries.
No, it's not more energy. It's not more energy, but burning is cleaner.
So it has its own oxygen.
Oxygen, that's why you need less. So the methanol is used in racing cars. Methanol is using in racing cars as a fuel. But methanol is kind of very toxic. Therefore, it's not like it should not be used. Methanol ගොඩක් අය methanol mix වෙලා ethanol බොනවා immediately blind වෙනවා. Immediate, yes.
So they go
Methanol
blind.
blind, permanent blind. ඒ සමහර මිනිස්සු මම ඒ අහන්නේ නිවුස් වල දෙන්නේ ඉස්සර like once or twice you will hear because of the illegal alcohol done in the villages, some like old men, like 5 or 6 men, like seriously ill or they dead because of the methanol poisoning. Liver එක immediately නතර වෙනවා.
So is it causing the village?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
When you drink coffee,
It depends. It depends. Yeah, because it contains aldehydes, ketones, because they are not distilled properly. Therefore, high probability of like malfunctioning of internal organs.
I would.
Heat of the.
ඒක වෙන්න බෑ. මලගෙදරටත් බොනවා, පාරටත් බොනවා, සම්පතක් බොනවා, අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම බොනවා, යාළු සෙට් වුණාම බොනවා. පාරගේ උලපත් බොනවා, බඩ පෙරලවත් බොනවා. Addiction, that's all addiction. You name it, that's addiction, that's it. ඒ කාට වුණත් ඒකයි මට වුණත් addict වුණත් ඉවරයි. Then it's all. Right, okay, last one. Here is one of the well-known organic compound dealing with our day-to-day life. Right, carboxylic acids. We are eating vinegar, right? Pickle වලට දානවා, curries වලට දානවා, එක එක වලට දානවා vinegar. Right, so vinegar is ethanoic acid. This is ethanoic acid, right? Why this ant? What this ant is doing here?
That is it.
Oh, මෙයා මොකද කරන්නේ? මෙයා අපිව බයිට් කරලා වුන්ඩ් එකට මොනවද දාන්නේ? මෙතනොයික් ඇසිඩ් දානවා. ඒකෙන් තමයි රිදෙන්නේ.
So I don't know the clue.
ඒකේ බේස් එකක් තියෙනවා.
Ah.
ඇල්කලයින්. ඒක මොකද The thing is something with it, aren't you? No. Right. Okay. And not only that, not only those simple carboxylic acids, we have done what are we learning now? We are learning different families of organic compounds. They are divided according to what? Functional group. So we are learning some functional group. මේ බලන්න මේගොල්ලන්ගේ නම ඉවර වෙන්නේ කොහමද? ඉක්. Here, ඉක් නෙමෙයි ඇත්තටම oic. Oic. See? Methanoic. Oic නෙමෙයි. Oic. Right? මට දෙන්න all McDonald මතක වෙනවා. This is ethanoic acid. This is what? Propanoic acid. Right? Okay. And look at the carboxylic acid group, C oxygen double bond and C oxygen single bond and OH. Right? How the people of the organic can be about lesson?
The last page.
Huh?
The last page.
Even yes, even certainly. Yeah. How the way may more than head boy go. Isuri give Edgar. Anything. Single game boy can boy you Okay, so not only those, look, proteins are made of what acids? Huh? Proteins? What acids? No? Okay, carboxylic, amino acids. See, they are called amino acids because of what? They have carboxylic acid group. You have fat and oil made of what acids? Fatty acids. See? See the carboxylic group එක fatty acid වල. ඔයගොල්ලෝ උතර මේගොල්ලෝ අහලා තියෙනවා. Right? These linolenic acids and all these things are used in omega-3 fatty acids, right? In margarine, butter, right? These are added. And also fish oil, especially fish oil. People take it to be like healthy. They contains this omega-3 fatty acids. Olive oil also, right? And forget about that. DNA, deoxy, ribose, nucleic acid. A acid can carboxylic acid groups, you know.
So what was the name?
Deoxyribonucleic acid, DNA. You didn't do it, you do that in the biology class? Right? Okay, so these are the three main groups. And I'm going to carboxylic acid take a functional group. Who? Alright, okay. Right? COOH. Right, COOH. Alright, so next we have to learn this fellow. I didn't include that into your tutorial, but anyway, just have a look at. These are called halogens. They are used in fire retardants. We make it in order to use in the electrical short circuit fire. We usually use these halogens, right? They want to use the right? And they are also used in spray cans to make these tiny droplets of ink, right? So spray cans and sometimes in perfumes also. So they usually have halogens, chlorine, or bromine, or iodine. You learned these halogenoalkanes in one of the lessons we covered like few weeks back. What is that? Yeah. We halogens gonna be academically. No, that's halide testing. That's good. That's what you meant, right? They are ions, no? They are chloride ions and iodide ions. Here, covalent compounds. The halogens that are halogenoalkanes that are over here. Yeah. In environmental pollution, we did it.
Ozone layer.
Ozone layer depletion. Are in the dichloromethane. Ozone layer depletion reason difluoromethane. Carbon, correct? CFC, right? Chlorofluorocarbon. But the correct name is what? Difluoromethane. Now you know methane, right? What were two letters? Yeah, this is a systematic name. We call it systematic name. And there are some common names that people use to like tell it easily. The minister of the normal monocytic, dichloromethane. Right? At least chlorofluorocarbon. But when you say like difluorocarbon, the polymer the carbon element so they can manage. Like methane is a systematic name. Is that clear? All right. So this is another homologous series we might come across in our questions. Okay. Here is the very last thing that I'm going to do very quickly, right? It's about writing names. Then go over that one. Listen, the name ends with family name. Alkane, ane. Alkene, ene. Alcohol, oil. Actually, it's an all. And part of the conjunction. Okay. Carboxylic acid, anoic acid, anoic acid, right? Anoic acid, right? Oic acid, right? But the best part is this: the number of carbon atoms explained in the prefix. method propute pentex of non-deck කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Right. Read the method propute pentex of non-deck. Apa kira? Method propute pentex of non-deck. Can one method compute pentex of non-deck?
Method compute pentex and non-deck.
Right. And you can connect that with alkanes. So for example, met and ane, methane. Right? So මේ met කියනකොට සමහර ළමයි hina වෙනවා අර ice වල chemical name එක met කියන it's methyl amphetamine කියලා amide එකක්. That's an organic compound used as a, actually it must have been used as a anesthetic, right? But that is attacking the neuro system. So people then found that it will give some hallucination in the brain. You die in 2 years without surely, right? Addict to තමයි ආයින ඇටකට්ටක් වගේ දිරනවා ඇඟ. Internal organs දිය වෙලා දිරන්න පටන් ගන්නවා after several months. Yeah, rehabilitation karata fully recover වෙන්න බෑ. Right? Brain damage like right, internal organs damage like right? That's why method addicted පොඩි මහලුක කාලයක් යන it's a neuro stimulator පටස් ගාලා addicted. Right? And it's no coming back, apparent no coming back. Right? Okay. ඉතින්ද careful වෙන්න. ඔයා තමන් ගන්න action එකේ වගකීම තමන් දරන්න වෙනවා. Right? All right. So methane, ethane, ethene, propene, and all these things. But when you write alcohol, let's say don't say propol. There is no propol, propanol. Right? Then hereafter, when you see octane, you're so comfortable. Oct means 8 carbon, 8 means alkane. So there is a meaning now. Then in the gas cylinder, you have propane and butane gas. Running over propane and butane, just the name. And you are thinking, my goodness, how many things to remember? But now it's not like that. Propane, 3 carbon, alkane, butane, 4 carbon, alkane. Right? So when you know things, remember things become better, right? More understandable. Right? So this is the name of simple unbranched organic compounds. You must know how to do this, right? Next day, we will go for alkanes. Alkenes, remember, next day lesson is going to be different. No sesame mistakes, right? Straight away, we are dealing with what? More serious stuff. Is that clear? So set your mindset and join the class. My plan is by end of December, right? Listen, end of December, my plan is to finish 60% of organic, right? 60% of organic, right? If time permits, it might go for 100% even. Right, with that, I'm going to wrap up the meeting. I'll see you guys next week. I hope you enjoyed the organic chemistry lesson, which is with a unique presentation. Bye. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.